Police bullets and tear gas causing extensive damage to a couple's property last month. The owners wanted the police to pay, but now they're stuck with the thousands of dollars of damage done. Thanks for joining us for 4 o'clock at 9 News. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. The couple was looking to retire when police raided their property. They had nothing to do with the damage or the suspect, but they have to foot the bill. Investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola reports from Elizabeth.
The bullet holes and the blown out windows are still quite visible here at this apartment complex, and the people who own this place are now on the hook for thousands of dollars in damages. On October 15th, a small army of police raided an apartment here in Elizabeth. Town police were serving a warrant. A man inside died after a shootout with police. A deputy also survived after getting shot in his bulletproof vest.
I want to throw up. Yeah.
And now Jan Fitzgerald and her husband Steve
blew it completely out.
Are left with the blown out windows, bullet holes, and an absolute mess after that SWAT team raid. They were renting the apartment to people inside. The man who was the target of the raid was just visiting and didn't live here.
It was excessive force.
Security camera footage captures the armored vehicle and police storming the unit as they fired tear gas through windows. 1 month later, Jan and Steve have been told they have to pay for the damages, about $20,000, they say.
What do you do? Where do you go? How do you get help?
Jan tried asking the town of Elizabeth for help.
And he said the town's not responsible. I got an email from him.
What would make you whole here?
For the police to take responsibility for what the damage that they did.
The incident is very similar to what happened in Greenwood Village in 2015. Police destroyed a home after a shoplifting suspect ran inside. The homeowner was left with hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages and loss. Courts sided with police, who claimed they were protecting the public during an emergency. Here's what the property owner told us back then when he tried taking the case to the Supreme Court.
This cannot go on in this country because it's going to be only a matter of time before another family suffers the same fate we did.
The Supreme Court declined to hear the case. And now that time has come again in the town of Elizabeth.
This shouldn't happen to anybody. And let's change the law somehow.
The town manager sent us a statement essentially confirming what he told the property owners. Under current state law, the town is not liable for damages. In Elizabeth, Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
We turn to the man accused of killing a Golden police officer and hurting the police officer's partner last week. That man's now officially been charged. Stephen Gear facing vehicular homicide and vehicular assault as well as DUI charges. It stems from the crash that happened during last week's snowstorm on Highway 58. Officer Evan Dunn and his partner, Officer Bethany Grusing, were already there. They were investigating a previous crash. Dunn was killed. Grusing was seriously hurt. Gear is now out on bond. And a man has been convicted of a drunk driving crash that killed a Commerce City police detective and another driver back in 2020. 49-year-old Fructuoso Rosales Cano was speeding and passing slower cars on Highway 2 in Commerce City of October 2020 when he swerved into oncoming traffic. He hit Detective Kurt Holland's police SUV. That impact caused Rosales Cano's truck to rotate, tip, and then crush a woman's car who was behind the detective. Construction equipment from Rosales Cano's truck also ripped off the roof of that second car. Both Detective Holland and the other driver, Francisca Dominguez, were killed instantly. Rosales Cano had a .294 blood alcohol content, more than 3 times the state's legal limit. He also had 2 previous DUI convictions. The sentencing now set for January 9th.
After a big first snowstorm in Colorado, another ski resort is ready to open. This is a live look at Telluride at this hour. The sun's setting there. Beautiful, beautiful place. Today we learned Telluride will be firing up the lifts on Thanksgiving Day. Isn't that fitting? Which is 2 weeks from today, by the way, if you're the one cooking. Some snow still hanging around the metro area from last week, but take a look at these snowmen hanging on the wall in Castle Rock. Janice shared these pictures of what she calls throwback to the 80s, snowman and snow lady. She says you don't always have to build the full snowman. I'm in full agreement with her. This looks great as it is. Thanks to Janice. You can always send us your cool pictures. Just hit the Near Me button in our 9 News app.
Tough day to be a snowman or snowwoman, Kathy. It was pretty warm out there.
Yeah, for some areas, Tom, like downtown Denver, but you go east or south, like Parker, Elizabeth, Castle Pines, Lyman. These areas, we still have plenty of snow on the ground and plenty of snow to make snowmen and snow women. But the trend is for warmer temperatures. So mid-50s in downtown Denver, but 60s to the north and south, and areas out where there's that snow cover, 40s in areas like Lyman. We continue with our mild, dry weather forecast through tonight and tomorrow. I'm tracking a storm for the weekend that will bring more snow to the high country. 8 resorts are open, hoping to see more open. Telluride going to open pretty soon. This is the leading edge of that storm approaching that high cloud deck there. Southwest winds will pick up along the Front Range foothills a little bit, but may transport in a little bit of cloud cover to give us a really pretty sunset, which will occur again about 4:43 tonight. Temperatures, as I mentioned, quite cool in the snow-covered areas as compared to areas north and south, but things are trending in the right direction. If you're looking for a break from the snow, we're all a little snow weary and shovel weary. Temperatures this evening are going to take a tumble when the sun goes down into the 30s, but many areas will be in the 60s tomorrow, and then in the longer term, there's a chance for more snow in Denver. I'll break all of that down with your extended forecast coming up.
President-elect Trump has nominated Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, a role that would give the anti-vaccine activists significant influence over our nation's health policies. For years, RFK Jr. has spread vaccine misinformation. He's claimed vaccines are tied to autism and spread conspiracy theories regarding HIV. If confirmed, he would oversee medical research, drug, vaccine, and food safety. He's also said he wants to remove fluoride from drinking water, despite research showing that fluoride has improved dental health. RFK Jr. was running for president as an independent this year, but dropped out of the race once agreeing to endorse Trump for a role in the Trump administration.
Advanced Auto Parts announced it's closing more than 700 locations over the next few years as business failed to meet expectations. The car parts retailer says the closures are part of a plan to improve business performance. They say that's going to take 3 years. The company announced they lost $6 million in its third quarter. A full list of affected locations has not been released. However, the majority are corporate-owned stores. Advanced Auto Parts has nearly 5,000 stores nationwide, 86 in Colorado. The Salvation Army needs your help spreading holiday cheer. The organization is looking for paid and volunteer bell ringers to help drive donations to the Red Kettles. The bell ringers get to pick their hours and their location. Donations help the Salvation Army provide shelter and meals to those in need. If you're interested in signing up, head on to our website, 9news.com.
What a huge surprise today from the sports world. Lindsey Vonn saying she's coming out of retirement and is a part of Team USA. Sharing this on X today, saying, "I hope the uniform still fits." She'd retired in 2019, had a partial right knee replacement surgery 7 months ago, but is back skiing again. The now 40-year-old has won 3 Olympic medals, including a gold in 2010 in Vancouver. She has 82 individual World Cup medals, 4 overall World Cup championships. Most recently, earlier this year, she was inducted into the Colorado Snow Sports Hall of Fame. She plans to train with the U.S. team this weekend. If things go well, it's possible that Vonn could return to the World Cup circuit this season, possibly competing in the next Olympic Games, the 2026 Milan Cortina Games.
Wow.
She seemed like she had fully detached from the idea of being a ski racer anymore. And at 40 years old in ski racing, that's not only, older than most anyone, it's also been a long time away.
And the training alone, you got to really want to embrace the grind to get to it.
Well, with the whole Birds of Prey race coming up at Beaver Creek, I know so many of the women ski racers are excited to run that course from Michaela Schifrin on out. And who knows if Lindsey Vonn will be a part of that, but Colorado will see a lot of it. She's certainly one of the all-timers.
Stay tuned. Whew. Okay.
Yesterday was a big day for many area prep athletes signing their letters of intent, taking their skills to the next level. And one of them is Trevor Gotan, and he's one of the state's top-rated players. The Highlands Ranch outfielder now is going to take his bat to the University of Utah. He was one of 5 Falcon baseball players who play for Pete Hatcher to sign that LOI last night.
It's been a pretty long journey. I mean, I struggled. It was a struggle a few years ago, so it feels good to see that the work that I put in really paid off. And it feels great to see my family be able to see, all the stuff that, I went through, and, they get to be a part of this too. So it's really cool.
Now, if that name is familiar, Trevor Gotan is that man's son. That's Steve Gotan. You may remember Steve worked here in the sports department in 9 News, also across the street as a sportscaster here in town. That's the family right there, and that's the star of the show, Trevor's mom, Lisa, also in the picture.
Props to Lisa.
But
That's
very
great.
proud to hear that. Steve was a great baseball player himself at Thomas Jefferson High School and up at Colorado State. But Trevor, it really looks like he's off to a great start. Potentially, he's got his spring baseball season at Highlands Ranch, but then he's off to Salt Lake City.
Keep your eyes on him. That's so great. As you know, once you're a parent, you value your own success. But when your children succeed, nothing better. So congrats to Steve and Lisa.
Great win.